Alright, what's up guys? So today we're going to be doing the walk around video of Jake's Jeep. He brought that over and we're doing this. Yesterday we were working on, or we did the video of his air system,
Air compressor.
Now we're going to do a walk around video of his Jeep because I know you guys are wanting to see more on it, and it's a pretty sweet Jeep that he's put a lot of time into, so let's go ahead and get started with the engine. What do you got in this thing?
So this is the stock 4.0 high output, and this is a 2001. So actually, we back it up a ways. I originally started my Cherokee build probably 6-7 years ago, and this isn't the Cherokee I originally built. The one I had.
What year was that?
That was a 94, my old one, and I wheeled the heck out of it. I had a lot of fun with it. It worked really well, but I had an opportunity to buy this specific Jeep, which is a 2001. It was bone stock, completely bone stock. It had 160,000 miles on it. It supposedly had a bad head on it because it's 2001. So I brought it in the shop and tore it apart, pulled the head off of it, only to find out there was no problems. It was just a bad water pump. So I put a new water pump on it, put everything back. Actually, I put a 94 head on this one, so it's got the stronger head, and it works great.
A little bit better engine setup.
Yeah, this one's got the newer electronics in it. It's got OBD2. It's got the higher flow intake manifold. I really like this motor style. I wanted to do the intake manifold swap when I was running the 94, but I just never got to it, and I finally did it with a whole new Jeep.
So for the transmission in this, what do you got?
So it's the AW4 automatic transmission. They're pretty standard in all of these. As far as I know, it's either AX15 or AW4 for the Cherokees.
Yeah, they did have the AX5 there for a while in the
Oh,
early
and the
versions.
older ones, yeah.
Those were kind of garbage, but
Yeah, no, I don't know anybody that runs those that likes them.
a lot of people are running the manuals, and you run the auto. You seem to like it?
I love running the auto. It makes it a lot easier for snow wheeling. Forward to reverse is a lot faster, and I kind of built my own little quick gate on this so I can shift from reverse to first. Well, reverse to drive, and then I'm going to be building the shift controller for it so that I can lock first gear in. So when I drop it in drive, it'll be first gear. So I can go straight first to reverse and rock it. When you're out in the snow, sometimes you got to get rocking to get momentum again, to get moving.
It'll be nice. I guess while we're here, we can show the interior. It's pretty clean. It's really clean, actually. You like having the newer interior on this versus your old one?
I love having the newer interior. It makes it feel so much nicer.
Yeah, they're a lot quieter on the inside. The power windows and door locks is nice.
Super
I know
nice.
you were always an advocate of non-powered windows, you know, for simplicity and reliability.
I was.
And now you got the dang power windows.
Now I'm all rolling in the deep over here. I got it
You're getting all old and you want those luxuries in life.
it is nice. I gotta say it's nice, but I'm fretting the day that one of the switch panels goes out and I have to replace it.
It'll be fine. They don't make them anymore, so you'll be golden.
Yeah, it's just super easy to find them.
No, it's nice. It's really clean in here. Not much to show. I know we showed the switches in the other videos. It's pretty simple.
I did pick up some of these Rugged Ridge floor mats. They're custom fitted floor mats for the Cherokee. They seem pretty nice. I really like them.
You got the back ones coming?
Back ones will be here sometime. They were expensive, so I only ordered one set at a time.
Those will work good.
Yeah, we'll be getting those.
Back when I had my Cherokee, I think I had WeatherTechs in mine, and I love having the custom fit floor mats.
Yeah, WeatherTechs
keeps all the water
really
off.
nice, but those were even more expensive. So, and this is just a wheeler.
So I guess let's move on to the transfer case. You got a 231 in here.
Yep,
an
I
SYE.
got an NP 231 with a Tom Woods drive line and an Advanced Adapters SYE kit. It's not the Mega Short. I didn't need the Mega Short because it's Cherokee. It's got a little extra. Saved me some money doing that.
Heck
And
yeah.
then off of the drive lines, I go into transfer case back. So we did transmission, transfer case, drive line, and then the rear axle is a Ford 8.8 out of an Explorer.
We can grab a flashlight and show that a little bit if we can.
Yeah.
So this is the 8.8 you got here in the back.
Yep, it's a Ford 8.8, and then when I did this, I ordered the Iron Rock Off-Road brackets and truss kit. It came all with the U-bolts, the hardware, everything to swap the axle over. It was, I think, like $300. It was pretty cheap when I bought it.
It's just a swap kit for the XJ.
Yep, XJ swap kit.
And this has disc brakes and all that, right?
Yep, disc brakes, and inside the differential is a ARB air locker for it. And a big thing on these 8.8s I've heard is that the stock carriers are pretty weak. So a lot of the guys upgrade them to like a zip locker or some sort of locker carrier to strengthen them up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. No, that's awesome. So you got the ARB air locker, and then what gears do you have in this?
So they're running 488 gears. I did 488s because I wanted to just go crazy with it, and I hated it on 35s. Do not do 488s on 35s.
456s would have been a little bit better.
456s would have been a lot better. When I was hitting the highway going out to the mountains, because we have to drive for probably a good 15-20 minutes before we hit our mountains where we're at, it was just wrapped out all the time. It was way up there in the RPMs, trying to keep up with people on the highway. These 4.0s don't have a lot of high-end power like that. They're pretty low-end. They're kind of torquey. So that was an issue I had.
That's fine. It pushed you to get bigger tires.
Yep.
So I guess let's go ahead and talk about the wheels and tires. You got 37-inch Patagonias on here?
Yep, 37 Pats. And
we got matching tires.
Yeah. I actually got mine first.
Whatever. Dang liar.
Anyway, but these tires, for the price, they were awesome. I think I bought them on Amazon. I actually got that Amazon credit card that I was telling you guys about a while ago.
The one that you shouldn't be using?
Yeah, the one I shouldn't be using. The only reason I got it was to buy these tires because they came on sale on Amazon. I think
Pretty sure you bought these tires right before a wheeling trip, too. Make sure you had them.
Yep. It was like the day before the wheeling trip that they showed up, and I had them put on to go wheeling.
It was a rush, for sure.
Yeah. I was out of town, and I had a couple of my buddies take them to the tire shop and get them put on for me.
And these are just some, Pro Comp Steelies you got here?
I think they're Pro Comps. I'm not sure exactly what they are. They're just a inexpensive...
Just a simple Pro
black
Comp Steely.
D-window Steely. But what is weird here is they're a 17-inch wheel, and you don't have a whole lot of options with the Jeep 5 on 4.5.
Yep.
And you don't have a lot of options in 17s for those. So I actually
there's
put
not.
an adapter on here, and so these are running a JK lug pattern, so that I could get cheap.
I think that's 5 by 5.5.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah.
So I just spread it out a little bit, and then it opened up my world of wheels quite a bit, so that I can get into a 37-inch tire on a 17-inch wheel.
Yeah, these are definitely good tires. I really like them. I have them on my Tacoma. We'll talk more about the Tacoma later, but tires are freaking awesome. There's a lot of people getting these and having great luck with them.
They're quiet on the highway. They perform really well off-road. I have no complaints with them. Before I was running a set of hand-cooked Dynapro MTs. Those
things were pretty hard.
They were ugly tires. They worked good, but they were ugly. I didn't like them. They lasted forever. The rubber compound was really hard. So. All
right, so let's move on to the front axle here. You got the trusty old Dana 30 up front.
Yep.
Really risking life there and living life to the fullest on that one.
Living on the wild side.
So what do we got going as far as springs and control arms and steering? What do you got under this?
So when I did this build, I put a 7.5-inch coil spring up front, and I think the Rubicon Express. They were just inexpensive ones. They seem to be working good. They ride pretty nice. They're not awful. And then I've got a Iron Rock Off-Road 1-ton Heim joint steering kit.
This is the same kit that I had on my XJ, I think.
Yep, they're really good kits. They're stout. They're
I
beefy.
still don't understand how I bent mine.
I don't know.
Makes no sense how I bent it, but I did bend it.
Well, to be fair, we were both going on the same trail, and he bent his a little bit. It was a little tweaked, but it was still able to drive home fine. Mine, I was right in front of him, and I bent mine bad enough that I couldn't drive home, and I had to have somebody drive, 200 miles?
Yeah, Corey came down.
Yeah, Corey came out and brought us another steering setup from another XJ.
That was a stock setup that you bent, though.
Yeah, mine was completely stock, and it tacoed it. It was bad. My tires were basically touching each other.
So that's the Iron Rock steering?
Iron Rock off-road steering kit.
And then these are just, what, for springs?
The springs are Rubicon Express.
Rubicon Express, same with the shocks, or?
The shocks are Dosh Tech, just kind of an off-brand. They seem to be doing fine. They're pretty big. They're stout. I've ran them for a couple of years now and haven't had an issue with them. And then I've got JKS quick disconnects for my sway bar. Those are really nice. I like them. I wish I hadn't got rid of the the attach pin to keep them held up, so I end up just using zip ties when we're out wheeling.
Hey, it works.
Yeah, it works good.
Zip ties for the win.
Yep.
Looks like you got the long arm kit on here. Whose is that?
That's also an Iron Rock off-road long arm kit. It's the 3-link. I think they call it their critical path. Since I bought this actually like 4 years ago when I did my other build, and I bought these like 4 years ago when I did my other build, and since then they've come out with some newer ones that seem to be pretty cool. I think they're called like Rock Links, but they look really nice. If I was to do it again, I might get a set of those. But this has performed really well for me for years. I really like it. There's no interference, nothing rubs. It flexes really good.
See, you got some frame stiffeners under here. Those are new on this one. You didn't have those on your old one.
I did not have frame stiffeners on my old build, and that was one of the whole reasons I started a new build, because my old one, the doors weren't shutting right. Everything was kind of...
You wheeled it too long with no frame stiffeners, right?
Yep. I would definitely suggest to spend the money if you're a Cherokee guy and you're wheeling, and if you're going to be doing anything bigger than like a 33-inch tire, you should have frame stiffeners.
Realistically, any kind of off-road in general, if you're going to be flexing the vehicle out and twisting it up, you should probably get those frame stiffeners. They'll help save some stuff.
And if you're just a weekend warrior guy, like just to have a Cherokee, you want a little nicer stance, I mean, you probably don't need them. But if you're going off-road, wheeling it, flexing it all, you should have frame stiffeners. I wheeled for 4 years without it, and it basically ruined my body, and that's why I started this new build.
Heck yeah. Well, I guess we can move on to the bumpers. You got the front and rear bumpers on here. These look like JCR?
Yep, these are the JCR bumpers. I actually have rock sliders too that were on my other Jeep. I just haven't put them on here yet.
They're JCR as well, right?
Yep, the JCR classic
It's fully
sliders.
fitted out with JCR on this thing.
Yep. When I do something, I go all out on what they got. The JCR bumpers.
JCR is nice stuff.
I
had a JCR bumper on the front of my Jeep as well, and I really like the looks of them. They're definitely clean. They fit and flow well with them.
They're very strong. I've put this through the ringer, and it holds well. I've got pictures of just this thing smashed into trees and bushes and all sorts of stuff. When I got it, I had a local shop do this really good bed liner on it. It's a pretty heavy spray-on bed liner, and it's held up really nicely. It's probably 5 years old on this coating.
Yeah,
it's not dulled bad at all. It looks really good.
Got the Warren winch in here.
Yep, Warren Xeon 10,000 with the steel cable. When I first got this, the synthetic ropes were just taken off, and I was a little skeptical on them. I wasn't sure if I'd like them or not, so I went ahead and got the steel cable. And looking back on it now, I wish I would have got the synthetic, because
you can always upgrade later.
The technology has advanced quite a bit on the synthetic ropes, and I will update it to a synthetic. I'll probably buy a new barrel for it and a new spool of synthetic cable and redo it at some point. But for right now, I haven't broke that steel one, so I'm still using it.
Heck yeah. You got Bushwhacker fender flares on here.
Yep,
those are pretty. Style. Those are just the generic flat style fender flares. And then the JCR rear bumper.
Yep.
Some lights in it.
Yep, just some cheap pod lights in the back. They work really well.
I've watched this bumper take quite a bit of abuse, so
yeah,
I think it holds up well.
Actually, if you look at it down the side of it,
it's a little bent.
Tweaked.
Oh well, we can bend that back.
I had a buddy hook up to me, and he hooked up to me right in the center hitch pin, and he gave a heck of a tug, and it
Who is that?
That'd be my friend Jared.
Oh, Levin?
Jared Levin.
Oh, man.
That's the guy. He gave me a good tug.
I was going to say Pat, but...
No, it wasn't Pat. But
I'm going to go with Jared on this one.
It was Jared. I'll give him a shout out there. Thanks, Jared.
Heck yeah. Sweet. Well, other than that, you just got your lights and stuff like that. You got I know we talked about these in the last video. You got those all put on.
Yeah, they're not hooked up right now. I just got them put on. I need to wire them still. Trying to figure out where I'm going to route the wire up under here. It's kind of a little difficult.
I would just run it out here and then drill a hole straight through the hood and just send it there.
Well, if
it'll
I drill
be fine.
There, then I'll also have to drill another hole for the turbo.
Ooh. Drop a comment down below if you want to see him turbo this. Also put down there, no balls, you won't do it.
Or comment if you want to see me put a supercharger on it. Would you rather see a supercharger or a turbo?
Definitely a supercharger, and I think he's leaning towards that, right?
Yeah, I'm actually looking into a couple different supercharger options at the moment right now. I'm gonna see what I can do to squeeze on a GM supercharger on here.
That'd be sweet.
Squeak out some more power.
We'll probably we might film that if you get that. That'd be a cool video to make.
Yeah,
Put
maybe.
the blower on, do some burnouts.
Yeah. This
Heck
thing will
yeah.
do burnouts as it is with the 488 gears and stock motor and transmission.
We need bigger burnouts.
Yeah, we need more aggressive burnouts.
Yes.
And once I get the shift controller put in, I'll be able to select it in the first or second and just let them boil. Yeah. I've actually got a video of when I first got this Jeep running. I did a massive burnout in the shop on the stock wheels and tires. It was...
I think with today's society, when we say massive burnouts, we have to really look at things when we compare, you know, people like Cletus.
Okay, Cletus got some excessive stuff. So I did a very mild burnout in that case. I did a one-tire fire. But actually the fire department stopped by the house because they thought a house was on fire when they were driving by because there was so much smoke boiling out of the top of my shop.
That's what you got to do these days is get the fire department called on you. That's when you know you've done the correct burnout. Well, I guess that pretty much wraps up the Cherokee, the little walk around with it. So what do you have for future plans? You know, you want to do a doubler in this, or?
Well, I'm definitely right now focusing on trying to get a couple more horsepower. I'm really looking into that supercharger, like we said. I think I've got one picked out that I'm gonna do. I just gotta scrounge some money together and some parts and get it built. But after that, I definitely want to try to do a doubler of some sort. I don't know if I want to do a Dana 300 or maybe a 231 cut case.
I think you should just send it and go straight for the Atlas.
Yeah, the Atlas, huh? Those are really cheap. Atlases are really good budget solutions.
It sucks the Dana 300s are so hard to find these days.
Yeah, Dana 300s are difficult. And, you know, I gotta say, Atlases are one of the easiest, best ones to run, but they're so expensive. And I would put one in here if they weren't so expensive.
So maybe a doubler in the near future, the supercharger, and probably just wheel it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yep. I got to put the rock sliders on still, and I've actually got two sets of those. I've got an old set of worn low profile ones, and then I have the JCR classic style, and I'm trying to decide which I want to put on there. The worn ones are really tucked up clean and look nice, and then the JCR ones really protect really well, but I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with yet. I guess I'll have to just hold them up there and see and make a decision at some point.
Drop a comment down below which ones you think you should use. All right, so that's going to wrap up this video. We got a bunch of other videos on this. Well, a couple others, stuff that you've been doing to it. So make sure to go check those out if you like the Jeep. And drop a comment down below if you want to see more stuff related to Jake's Jeep or some of the other Jeeps around that we have locally. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.